Hi, Jenna, our top
Hi, hi,
one
Mika.
from 2023. Welcome and super thank you. Now you're here, finally. So to start, can you introduce yourself and share mo what you're currently working on, excited about?
Hi guys, I'm Jena. I top IDLE 2023. I have been practicing interior design since then for almost 2 years now, but right now I'm at a pause. I took a break. So you can say na parang nasa love-hate relationship ako with unemployment.
Hindi with ID.
Hindi with ID, not with ID naman.
Yes, so reassuring para sa mga magpapa-license pa lang. Welcome to Mindset Magic with Mika, where we unlock clarity, courage, confidence, creativity, and connection so you can show up as your most expressed, most aligned, most unstoppable self. If you are ready to shift into your main character energy and design a life that feels as good as it looks, you're in the right place. I'm Mika Doria, your interior designer, your Mindset Magic Muse, branding goddess. Let's dive in. Ano tingin mo yung defining moment for you? Kaya ka nag-take up ng interior design?
You mean in college? Kung paano ako
Mm.
Okay.
Oo.
Oh, okay. Yung story ko on how I got into interior design in college is very interesting. I've been sharing this to everyone, especially sa mga high schoolers. Kahit sa mga workmates ko before. Yung interior design, it's my first choice in the UPCAT. But the catch is, it was a misclick. Parang ganun siya. Yeah.
Di ko alam na misclick yun.
Misclick siya. I was eyeing for architecture with a minor in interior design. So I wasn't aware that interior design was unique on its own as a program. And then engineering. And the reason for that is because when you came from a public high school, lalo na sa probinsya, I'm from Zambales for context, you rarely get to be exposed with courses that are not typical for science, technology, and mathematics. Ganon. So yung interior design, I wasn't aware that it was a program on its own. But wala eh. Life works in weird ways. So long story short, when I got into the program, I tried to go out of it for 1 year. After 1 year,
Oh, I remember.
Oo. Despite several, mga maraming generous feedbacks from professors that I'm doing good with what I do. So I took summer classes in UP to get into the engineering program that I got accepted. Pero enrollment ng second year, I went back to the program. So that's how I continued studying interior design. So, ganun siya. Who would have thought na i-interviewin mo pa ako for this?
Yeah, because of your board exam journey. Pero curious ako, like, di ba parang dumating ka na sa point na you also took engineering classes,
Nung summer
pero
class,
nag-proceed ka pa rin sa ID?
yes. Physics and mathematics. And my grades were okay. It's just that you hindi mo alam kung ano yung gusto mo unless you experience it. Something like that. So when I handled physics classes and mathematics classes, it's very different na mas gusto ko na yung subjective side ng ID. So parang ganun siya.
Interesting. So would you say na dahil na-immerse ka nung first year sa ID,
Mm.
yun rin yung nag-fullback sa'yo?
Yes, definitely. It's very different. Yung engineering and design, even architecture, very different.
Mhm. Parang ikaw lang yung may engineering-ish na background. Kasi yung mga classic stories ng mga nag-ID, archi dapat, pero ganito, ganyan, di ba?
Oo, kasi when you like arts, science, and then drawing, yung first talaga na course na sasuggest sa'yo is architecture. That's the closest that you can get. Pero marami pa palang courses out there. Ang major heartbreak ko nga ngayon hindi na to tungkol sa ID, but I wish I was more exposed to financial economics, mga ganon noon. Yun pala yung pathway na sayang.
Kung na-take mo pa siguro yung courses nun, no?
Oo.
Pero wala ka siguro dito nun, Jenna. So, Everything is perfect. Buti na lang. Sabay ganun. Wow. So, did you know ba na before na meron talagang licensure yung interior design?
Not really.
Hmm. How was it for you when you found out na, ay, kailangan pala namin mag-boards?
Ano siya, syempre shocking, overwhelming. Even until now na yung nagkaroon ako ng license when you go out there, kasi ginagamit ko siya sa mga bank, sa offices, it's my newest government ID, di ba? You will be surprised at how common people are unknowing that this profession has a license. Lagi sila, oh, may license pala. Ganun.
So, gano'n rin yung ano mo, parang wonder na, meron. Pero kasi 'di ba, like in our ID program, parang first year pa lang, medyo tinanim na sa atin na, oh, may boards ang ID.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yung curriculum natin, it's meant to prepare us for the board exam. So, alam
Yeah.
na, first year pa lang.
Would you say na as early as first year, na-prime ka na, okay, magte-take ako ng boards right after graduation, gano'n?
Yes. Kasama na siya sa preparation.
Hmm. Anong mindset mo nun, Jena, nung tinanggap mo na, okay, may licensure exam kami?
Well, actually, mas okay nga na meron siya eh. Because it legitimizes the profession. So, mas maganda na meron siya.
Mhm. So, parang full circle na rin siya for you,
Hmm.
especially na nag-go all in ka sa ID. And marami rin nagtatanong na, 'di ba kapag nag-top ka, ang daming opportunities na would come your way. So, how was passing as top one influence your career, lifestyle, mindset?
Um, there's a spotlight that comes to the title. And it helped with confidence boost and self-image. But
Mm.
I would always say na yung achievement, it's passing. Mas masarap yung adrenaline rush sa journey ng pag-i-aim mo to top the boards than when you have already gotten it. So, ganun siya.
I like what you said kasi at the end of the day, parang we always say na, I want to pass this, I want to top this, pero the most memorable talaga and where most growth happens is in the in-between. Like yung, yung journey talaga to becoming
Oh,
someone who's ready to
oh,
pass and top the boards. Wow! Grabe. I remember na no after ng exam, si Jenna tumatalon siya.
the third day, ano,
Oo. Was that ano ba, was it because may feeling ka na, parang top one or sure na pass?
it was because I was confident in the preparation na nung nabasa ko yung design problem, I already know what to do and I was confident na paglabas ko, okay yung output ko. Masaya ako dun sa na-give out ko. So, ganun siya. Kaya, happy. And it also helps when you are in high energy even before mag-take ng boards kasi magro-roll out yun sa buong journey.
I like what you said na una pa lang yung energy that will set the tone for it starts with preparation. So, in order to help yung listeners natin get to that point too, himayin natin yung exam prep and design strategies that really help you.
Okay.
Okay? I'll share yung mga major concerns nila. And first dun is time talaga, like one of their biggest struggles. So ikaw ba, like how did you manage your time and energy wisely during the review?
Okay. Yung overarching umbrella is having insight even with time. Um, Insight means how much do you know what you are doing, what will you do, and how much um, of the environment that you will go through will you be prepared of. For example, let's look at it from a game perspective, board game perspective. Every board game has mechanics, diba? And there are rules in place to play the game. And there are also a number of rounds before you can finish and win the game. So to make it less vague, you as a player, meron ka ring set of cards. And yun yung unique abilities mo that are different from any other player. So, yung insight is understanding what are the rules that are set in the game, what you are capable of, and how much time do you have right now to play the game before you can win.
Mhm.
So, when you decide to take the boards, ano siya eh, hindi ka naman kaagad magre-review. You sit down and you analyze what will happen. So, dun papasok yung time management and yung speed. Yung speed sa akin, very crucial siya kasi mabagal ako, especially in the drawing part.
Ang ganda kasi ng renders ni Jena.
Bagal ako, and ang weakness ko pa nga, one insight that I have during the review na, I don't like memorizing. I'm not very good with reading academically for so long. So, ang goal namin as a team is to read the summarized but still thick materials for 3 rounds. Pero hindi ko siya natapos. What I did was, I went through Quizlet and that's where I reviewed. And what's nice about it is that yung mga past board exam takers, they have already pre-made flashcards in Quizlet. And you just have to pick which ones will you review. You don't have to memorize it. Just go through it repeatedly. The technique is repetition. And then you will familiarize yourself in it.
Mhm.
The progress and the tracking, ang gagawin mo doon, you just have to answer it repeatedly and record your scores. That's how you will know that you are progressing. And yung premium account is even more helpful because you can go through it in different formats. You can do identification, multiple choice questions, fill in the blanks. It's really, yeah, it's really like that. It's really inside. How much do you know? What strategies can you use?
Nag-sketch ka rin ba, Jena, ng mga motifs, ganon?
Konti. Konti lang yung drawing parts ko. Pero heavy ako sa 8-hour design challenge. Because yun yung pinakamabagal ako eh. It helped that Marlo is my study buddy, and it helped that he was fast and he was good with time management. So, in terms of speed sa drawing sections, to finish it, you have to strategize in a way that you would allocate specific time per sheet to finish it. And when you allocate time, you have to follow through and you can't exceed it. Kailangan, because exceeding it means betraying yourself. Kailangan,
Yeah, strong.
di ba?
Totoo yan. That's what I felt when I take too long. Kahit na sinabi ko, 30 minutes lang to.
Oh, when you set a time, you have to follow through. And when the output is done, that's when you criticize, that's when you judge, that's when you adjust the process. So, saan ka ba mabagal? Ano pa yung pwede mong i-adapt? Is it in the thinking part, decision making? Is it the way that you flip your Toblerone scale? Mabagal ka dun? Are you missing pencils? Stuff like that. There are a lot of different strategies that you can use to change your routine if you only pay attention to what you are doing every time you practice.
Grabe yung presence of mind and like intentionality.
Oh.
Ngayon ko lang narinig na like even yung speed sa pag-flip ng triangle scale. Kasi totoo, di ba? Like it takes too long, lalo pag nasa design exam ka na talaga. Parang, nasan yung ganito ganyan? So, during my take, I did my best rin to memorize kung ano yung color ng scales. Kasi di ba?
Yes.
Like help yourself. Kasi
Ako naman,
ganun.
instead of Toblerone scale, kasi napansin ko rin yun, I used a fan scale.
Oh, I use it?
Yes. So whatever scale that you need, you just stick it out and then you hide the rest. And you don't have to use so much effort finding it anymore. Other examples is that meron akong specific locations for my tools. It's part of my practice. So we use the 3-tier organizer, di ba? I know where I will put my rulers after use so that they won't tear my paper. Whenever I'm hungry, there's food on the side and I know where I will put it back kapag tapos na.
Ang galing.
Yes. Even the visual identifiers. I use visual identifiers for my pens, pencils. Para isang tingin ko pa lang, I know which is which. Hindi nawawala yung 0.5, 0.3.
Mhm.
Those are simple techniques that you can use to make yourself at least 1 second faster because speed is really something.
Mhm. And I remember even yung mga eskis natin during college, meron ka ng technique na yun, 'di ba? Yung
Meron.
yung may
So,
markers, yung
yes,
ano, yung pens. Tapos lahat kami magtataka, "Ha? Paano siya natapos? Ba't ang bilis ni Jenna? Ba't kompleto yung
yes.
sheets niya?" And that's what Jenna would always share with us. Wow.
Mm-mm.
Kasi super bilis mo pala nung design portion.
Speed talaga, problem ko talaga yun ever since. So, kailangan eliminate ko yung mga areas na nagpapabagal. And you can also use that technique.
Mhm, mhm. Actually, another thing that really parang slows down the design portion part is yung sa concept making, 'di ba? And the
Yes.
thing is, not everyone knows until the exam na, ay, meron palang design concept na we have to work on. So, ano yung mabibigay mong tips for them to really come up with strong concepts under time pressure?
Mhm. Still, it's practice.
Mm.
You practice yourself. You pick out design problems for space and then you practice writing concepts for them. Merong technique na concept bank, di ba? Ginagamit ng marami.
Mm.
Magbabaon ka ng concepts mo sa boards, which are universal. But, you know, I don't know, concept writing is just a small portion of the entire 8-hour design challenge. And if you are weak at concept writing, I'm not saying that you put it aside. It's just that you can also focus on other areas where you are good at. Especially yung mga areas na mas mataas yung percentage sa breakdown of the grade.
Ganun ba yung naging approach mo, Jenna?
Yes. Kasi initially, I was also not good with concept writing. It just got honed over time. But what I was good at ay yung drawing board. And I would highly suggest na kung ano yung may pinaka-highest percentage, which is the board, that's what you make most impactful. That's what you give most of your effort because it could pull up or pull down your grade.
Mhm. For you nun, for sure you got to complete all the sheets.
Yes, that's very important. That's the number one goal. Is
The number one goal. Okay. Paano mo minanage yung yung time mo per section there? Kasi 'di ba maraming sheets.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
You have to allocate time per sheet to finish per sheet. For example, 1 hour for floor plan, 1 hour per RCP. You cannot use the entire 4 hours for just the floor plan. No.
Strict.
Yung pinakamatagal sa akin na gawin at the time, it's the board because my drawing and then rendering. But my technique was, as a designer, I'm not organized. So I cannot just stick with the floor plan, finish it, and then move on to another. My technique was, I'm doing the floor plan and then I'm doing the perspective on the side. So I have two boards with me. One a small one and then the other yung typical size na mas malaki.
Mhm.
So yung perspective board ay nasa gilid and then the floor plan nasa gitna. I'm already done with the concept writing. So ganun siya. That was, yes, ganun siya. And yung sa other sheets, I wouldn't say make it bongga the first time. When you've reached your 1 hour or your set time frame, you skip. As long as there is substantial content to it, you can identify it as complete, mark it as complete as long as the content is substantial to be understood. Nandun na yung basic information and primary drawing, and then move forward ka na.
I like that.
Noon.
When you said na kapag na-use up mo yung time, jump ka muna sa next. Kasi you can
Mm.
always go back to it naman. If you still have more time, if you successfully manage your time.
Oo.
Oo nga, no? And then you mentioned na before you proceeded sa floor plan and sa design concept, meron ka ng concept. Tama ba?
Yes, the concept right.
Ginagawa. So, how long did it take you to come up with the design concept? And did you go simple ba or talagang elaborate ba yung design concept mo?
Mm, yung training ko is 1 hour for the concept writing eh. It just so happened na yung design problem na tumapat sa akin, I already know what to do. Kumbaga, na-practice ko na yung design
Ah,
problem
mm.
beforehand. Not exactly the design problem, but the theme of the problem, the type of space, I was able to practice beforehand. So it's really in the preparation.
Oo nga,
Yeah.
that's why. Galing kasi yung iba nga like they do concept banks, yung iba naman they just really trust the one concept, which is what I did. And then another question from the audience is, 'di ba like when you come up with design concepts, there would be times na maybe go back tayo sa preparation mo since it really led to your really sure na design concept during the exam. Pero how was it for you when you were practicing your design concepts? Like may times talaga na parang mapapa-overthink ka or magda-doubt ka eh. So,
Kung lalapat ba siya o hindi.
'di ba? Kung ito ba talaga
Oo.
pipilit ko ba 'to? So,
Oo.
ikaw, like how did you decide what direction to take when you were preparing or like practicing your concept making?
Okay, whatever the design problem is, you have to focus on what is essential and necessary. Most of the time, plus points if it's about public safety and welfare. Always, always. So your top three considerations, your design strategies, your material specifications, it should always be anchored on accessibility, maintenance, and function. And then there's the aesthetics. So for example, when you write your design strategies, kailangan pasok yung mga words na yon. Kapag material specifications naman, let's give a scenario. You will specify, this is a restaurant. You will specify an elaborate, intricate damask pattern because that's aligned with your design concept, the aesthetics of your design concept. That's okay. But the material that you will use, what is it? It should be porcelain tile because that's durable, that's low maintenance. But careful because this type of example, you cannot use it in hospital. That's why I said
Yeah.
restaurant. You have to contextualize it also.
Mhm.
So ganun siya. When you write your concepts, if you would bring banks with you, yung essence ng mga sinulat nyo, it has to be universal. Nagkakapalit lang siya sa theme.
That's really smart. And now I see na it kasi 'di ba parang we would go for visual impact. At least yun
Yes.
yung advice ng iba, 'di ba? But the
Yes.
deeper part of design is really, 'di ba? Like what does it entail? What is this design for? What is it solving? 'Di ba? What makes this design appropriate for this problem? So that's really really important. I'm glad na you pointed that out. Kasi we often overlook eh. I say nga ano sa iba ring interviews na the interior design board exam is not really about how great you are as a designer, but more of how prepared are you to be a professional interior designer.
Yes. Yes. We always say that I was told by my mentor that the board exam is not a measure of your grit. It's not a measure of your wit and your intelligence. It's a measure of your grit and perseverance and preparedness. So
Wow.
hindi siya kay patalinuhan. You just have to know the game.
Mm-hmm. And that's the game. Like, if you were a professional already, how would you solve this design
Yeah.
problem? Parang ganun eh, no?
Important din to assess what are the tastes of the panel of the board who will judge my work at the end of the design challenge. Um, some generations ba sila galing? Ano yung design training nila before? Because it's very different with us now. Sa kanila, very babad sila with manual drawing. So they like that you draft well, you draft clean, your penmanship is good.
Mhm. Curious ako, Jenna, kasi considering na design is subjective nga and at the same time for the exam, you have to also cater sa taste nga ng panel. How was it for you balancing yung approach na you like into like fitting it also dun sa taste nila?
Okay. I wasn't very sure kung ano yung mga hinahanap ng panel na to. But considering IDR Sonia, um, even advices from Ma'am Quevedo, ano siya, mas gusto niya yung public safety, welfare, always accessibility. That's the essence of interior design sa kanya. So, laging function, maintenance, over the aesthetics. So, yung aesthetics, dun papasok yung approach mo as a young designer. Paano mo siya gagawing mas innovative? But the traditional way of how people can use the space better, yun yung sa mga panel. Yun yung mas tinitignan nila. So, when you draft your papers, maximize na even the words. Remember, you cannot explain your output once you submitted it. So you can put as much call outs, as much as explanation as necessary because it's only the concept paper that's limited in word count. Diba? Yun.
Parang I can already imagine yung itsura ng sheets mo. Nung time na yan. Grabe if they can only see like gaano kalinis yung draft ni Jenna and talagang may like when you see it, you know na, oh, gawa to ni Jenna.
Thank you.
Pero next time na yon pag pinakita na lang ni Jenna. Oh my God. Wow, super. Wow, I really like the insights na you shared. It's a really different perspective kasi it's really about studying smart and not just making, not just overwhelming ourselves with the review. And speaking of the renders, maganda talaga yung ano, may signature style talaga si Jenna. I really wanna say that. So, can you tell us about that and how it really helped you when it came to the exam na?
Okay. Hindi na ako first plan was to use mixed media. Pero mas mabilis kasi watercolor pala. So I used only watercolor during the boards. And then yung technique ko is to make the drawing complete and nice, but it's not really complete. So the focal point is on the center, but the colors are fading sila sa gilid. So ganun yung technique na ginawa ko. And I use 2-point perspective just to give depth. Kung kaya nyo mag 2-point, then do 2-point, but 1 point is faster. And I also did not use pens anymore. Just straight pencils.
Hindi ka
Yes.
nag-pen sa perspective?
No. Even on the sheets, tracing paper sheets, no more pens.
Puro pencil.
Yes, you can
Wow.
make the pencil look like it's pen, depending on your grip.
Grabe. Kaya ang bilis.
Yes, mukha naman siyang pen kasi mechanical pencils. I don't sharpen. So, mabilis siya. Papalit-palit din ako ng lapis depende sa thickness. But yung grip mo, mapapractice mo yun during drafting eh. You have to make it as neat as when you are using pens. Kasi yung pagtitrace with pen, kakain pa siya ng oras eh.
Yeah.
So might as well practice with pencils.
So, ibig sabihin ba, you had different mechanical pencils kada grade?
Yes. 0.3, 0.5, I have 1.0. And then a chiseled pen, a chiseled Mongol pen for lettering.
Ang linis nun, kasi
Yes.
like mechanical pencil, yung lead nila, hindi ma-smudge.
Yes, and okay din kasi hindi ka na mahihirapan magbura kapag nagkamali ka.
Grabe! Ang bilis ng Jenna!
Oo, ganun. But mind you, hindi ko natapos yung design challenge ng UP. And I was very devastated. Hindi ko na alam kung paano ko tatapusin yung sa boards because walang laman yung board ko ng UP Mock boards, yung illustration board. Yes, wala.
Parang naalala ko. Parang
Oo.
nag-point ka nun.
Sorry?
1 point perspective.
1 point lang.
No?
Yung UP boards.
Pero question, Jenna, like when you were preparing, di ba nagpa-practice ka? Were you doing yung 1 point or 2 point?
Both. I prepared both.
Both. So, nag-decide ka na lang during the exam na ito yung best na magre-represent.
Yes, kasi nung time na yun, ang nasa isip ko, it depends on the angle, on the space na ipapa-draw sa akin. Yung requirement, for example, if it's a lobby, if it's a bedroom, it depends. At saka, hindi mo naman kasi mapipinpoint kung nasan yung focal point na ilalagay mo, kung saan siya pinakamaganda. So with the nag-decide ako ng 2-point perspective, kinuha ko yung angle na mapapakita ko yung focal point na nilagay ko sa floor plan. So it depends. You just have to prepare. But as early as now, you can decide if you want 2-point or 1 point.
Grabe, different breed si Jenna. Dalawa yung prepare niya. Alam mo ba, when I did yung first take ko, I was practicing, mastering yung 1 point perspective. And then, nung actual exam natin, I decided na 2 point na lang.
No.
Yun nga, I know.
Kasi, yes, kung ano yung sanay ka, yun yung gagamitin mo. Because it's muscle memory. Kung ano yung nagamit mo na in the past, most likely yun din yung magagamit mo sa boards. So, it's more efficient if you use the one you are used to.
Kaya prepare na kayo ng preference. That's why nung second take, nagmaster ako ng 2-point perspective naman. Kasi na-realize ko na, mas gusto ko pala to.
Oo.
Grabe. Tapos, ano pa ba about the design portion? So, can we go pa like more specific pagdating sa time-saving tips for the design portion? Ano pang naalala mo?
Mostly sa materials eh. Kailangan
Like,
mo talagang i-observe kung ano yung pwede mo pang palitan. Like, your Toblerone scale versus the fan scale. And then there's also the French curve and the flexi curve.
Oo.
You know the difference. Yung flexi curve, for me, mas versatile siya. Because if you are given a floor plan na curvilinear, mappa-form mo na yung flexi curve according to the shape of the without necessarily using yung flexi curve na igaganon-ganon mo pa. So it depends. What else? Visual identifiers. You must know your routine well eh. Para
What did your routine look like nun, Jenna? Baka they can get tips para they can create their own.
Okay. So, kapag nagpa-practice ako ng 8-hour design challenge, yung na-practice ko na yung location ng organizer, and then usually sa left side yung mga pens, and then right side yung mga rulers, something like that. And then during the boards naman, naka-tape yung papers is such that you can flip na lang. As opposed to kapag ilalagay mo siya sa gilid, may tendency pa siyang mapunit. Or when you are gonna go back through your drawing and magdadagdag ka, magtitape ka na naman ng panibago as opposed to just flipping it. But the danger to that is when you are so near dun sa katapat mo, there's also a tendency na malupot siya or mapunit siya.
Oo nga. Depende rin sa venue eh. Kasi yung ibang venue masikip.
Yes.
Yung iba spacious.
And then, minsan naman, may mga upuan na nakadikit na yung upuan ng katapat mo dun sa table mo. So, you can't do that.
Nangyari ba sa'yo yun nung
Hindi naman, fortunately hindi naman.
mm. Wow. So, ang daming variables coming into
Yes.
the exam week itself. So, it's important na you know your routine and really prepare as much as you can
You
given
can make your own design challenge at home. Kahit hindi siya facilitated by a review center. If you don't
Did
have
you that
access,
rin?
no, ay hindi naman. Kasi ginawa namin siya as a team. But I
Ayan.
think with other review centers, limited lang yung design challenges eh. And if
Mm.
you feel like you're not yet confident with the practice that you did, you can still do it at home. Just allot one day, maybe Saturdays.
True.
Or
Actually,
you can,
top-notcher strategy nga yan.
oo, para lang madagdagan. Practice, practice, practice. Kung
Mhm.
hindi kaya ng isang buong 8 hours, maybe you can break down the practice into smaller time periods. Say, for example, your allotted time for floor plan is 2 hours. Then, for Monday, you do the floor plan for 2 hours. And then for Tuesday, you do the perspective for 2 hours again until you complete the 8 hours. But of course, your results are gonna be different as opposed to when you do it in a straight go.
Yan, totoo. That's true. Iba pa rin when you really simulate yung time pressure
Uh,
that comes from the exam, eh, no?
Yun yung best results talaga, especially if 100% effort, dun mo makikita yung progress mo, especially if you track and measure it.
Mhm. Yeah, tsaka more often than not, how you practice and prepared is how you will perform in the exam. Like, consistent siya. So, wow, I can see. Grabe yung ano, grabe, Jenna.
But yung mga practices ko naman, it's not entirely my own. Meron ako nakukuhang tips from people who have already done the exam. Kasi may mga talks na ganun eh. There's one organization in UP, they hold seminar, 1 day seminar or talk for this, and they invite top notchers also from UST, from other universities. I just don't know if they will do it this year. And then there's this, your platform, and then maybe sa mga universities din, kung
Yeah.
meron. Or your friends, lakasan nyo na yung loob nyo and try to ask techniques from the people who have been through the same experience. Doon mo lang naman makukuha lahat.
True, improve your ask muscle. And para sa mga shy pa rin magtanong, that's why we have this resource for you all. This is more than enough. You just have to believe na it's possible for you. I really feel, grabe, ang dami nun. Ako yung no? I'm really like processing na, wow, like, if these are things na people know about, if more people knew about this, I'm sure na it's gonna shift, like yung passing rate sa profession natin. Kasi it's
Yes.
just sad na it's low,
Oh,
'di ba? Especially as a new profession-ish, tapos we wanna legitimize it. We need like more people who are like advocating na may license. 'Di ba? So, wow. That is our goal. Yan yung collective manifestation natin. Sabi ko
oo.
dyan, ma-manifest namin na longest list ng passers, pati ng top notch.
Oo, even the top 10 spots, you can share it. It's not limiting. You and your friends can share any spot in the top 10. And
Yeah.
does that degrade the value of interior design licensure exam? I don't think so. It just says na yung mga maraming names in the top 10 spot or the passers, it says that they worked hard for the caliber that they want to be. And that will only propel the board to continue improving the quality, developing the interior design licensure exam, di ba?
That's true. Tsaka, when they see na there's improvement, they also have a metric na, oh, okay, so we are also elevating pala our curriculum, the way we do things. So it's like feedback and
Right.
helpful for our profession. At the end of the day, it's that rin naman eh.
Oh,
Really uplifting it. Wow. Na-excite ako. So, gusto ko pa ng mindset for this. Kasi ate, so, pagdating kapag ano na lang, like 2 weeks na lang, gano'n na lang yung meron. You can have any strategy, but if you're not in the right psychology, this is all pointless.
Yes.
I really believe that. So how was it for you, Jenna? Like yung psychology mo, coming into the boards, preparing for it, and during the taking of it. Mm.
I wouldn't say that I'm 100% yung demeanor ko during preparation is go, go, go. No, I would be hypocritical kapag sasabihin ko na hindi ako nagkaroon ng self-doubt. But I remember there's this one reel that you posted. I saw it in Facebook, and you said that the board exam preparation is 80 or 90% psychological and 10% preparation.
20, yes, that.
I agree with that. I 100% agree with it. Because if there's one thing that I believed in, no, I did not. If there's one thing I did not believe before that I wish I did, it's that human limitations are self-imposed. We are what we think about. Diba? If you think you will not pass, you will not pass. But if you believe you will top, the worst that could happen is to pass.
Oh
So
my
try to
God.
diminish any thought that you will not pass because it is possible. You know, you tell yourself every day, I will top, I will pass because that's the path that I decide for myself and that's what I want. And you will be surprised at the difference that will make in the effort that you give every day.
Kasi nag-declare ka na as early as preparing for it na this is what I want, who I'm gonna become. That's so important. Wow! How did you navigate yung mga times na there would be doubts and like overwhelmed na, wait lang, parang lumalapit na and I'm not sure if there is still progress or if I'm really gonna make it during the board exam?
The best approach siguro to address the overwhelm first is to look at your progress. You have to identify in yourself kung saan ka ba nagkukulang. Anong area yung hindi mo pa masyadong gamay and you focus on that. But if the overwhelm is too much that you can no longer handle it on your own, you go to someone who can give you strong words of encouragement. Have a support system. In fact, build a team if you don't have one kahit 2 weeks na lang. It's very important. It's helpful that you can be surrounded with people who support you and who are aiming for the same goal as you. So, yun.
Environment rin talaga, no?
Yes, environment talaga.
Yeah. Kasi it also provides external accountability. So, mataas yung success rate. And actually, that's one concern ng iba rin since mostly are also solo reviewers.
Mm.
And they also, alam mo yun, parang ang tagal na nilang last nag-take ng exam. So, they don't have friends anymore who like remembers or they can prepare with. That's a reality rin. Actually, I'm surprised and I'm glad na we're doing this kasi it's a way to support them. So, all supports exist in all ways, shapes, and forms.
Mm.
And for those na maybe worried about the environment and not having the right support system nga physically, know na there are different kinds of environment and this also counts as an environment. So, immerse yourself in this top-notcher energies na sinishare ni na Jenna and ng other passers and top-notchers here. Kasi that's what we're doing like really preserving the energy so that it can help them. Ah, okay. So, given all those strategies, let's jump to the timeline na, oh, wow, they're done with the exam and they're just waiting for the results. So, kamusta yung waiting game for you, Jenna?
Um, ano ba? Wala. Hustle while you wait. Yung last day of the board exam nung sa amin ay natapat siya either Wednesday or Thursday. So the next day was a work day. And Marlo and I have already exhausted our leave credits. And we did not want to just stay at home naman and rest even when we were allowed. So, pumasok pa rin kami sa work. And at that time, the energy was still very high. Parang hindi pa nagda-die down yung adrenaline. But, I don't know, just stay on a positive attitude, keep a sense of humor, celebrate. Because you have already done your part in the preparation. You showed up during the board exam. You know you asked for, you sought divine help, and now is the time to trust that you will receive more of that, more of what you've asked now that it's done.
Yes. Grabe, really love that. And it makes me happy to hear it from you, Jen. Really, the way you articulate it. Yes. That is faith in action. And like, since all the intentions nga lined up, all the energy, and totoo yun, the biggest chunk is the preparation and the waiting game is just cherry on top.
Yes.
You would know eh, di ba? Like, there's that
Oh,
feeling eh, na, oh, I really believe na it's past na. Ganon. And when you found out na top one, kamusta yung moment na yun for you?
oh, it was a high for some time. Masaya talaga. Everyone's cheering on you, congratulating you. Again, there's a spotlight that comes with the title. And um but I think more so it provided insight on me about goal setting and teamwork because I usually work alone. I like working alone. Gusto ko yung dumidiskarte mag-isa.
I remember.
But yes, di ba? But because of the board exam, I was able to see that there's so much you can do when you allow other people to help you. So ganun siya. It's also a humbling experience in a way.
Mm-hmm. I like that. And I remember na parang it's a similar theme for everyone also who pass and like top the board exam. Well, at least sa mga nakausap ko. Kasi for them, it's really about remembering na you're not alone in this.
Yes.
Na there are powers backing you up. There are people believing in you and you have yourself friend at the end of the day. So really like pull yourself together. So wow. Para sa mga lone wolf dyan. Recovering lone wolf. Yeah, there is power in company.
Exactly. Work in a team, guys.
Mm, working a team. I'll call on kayo ng ano nyo, ng spiritual guides for extra support if you feel like you don't have a team yet.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Oh, how was faith for you during that time, Jenna?
Sorry.
How did faith play a part sa
Okay.
board exam journey mo?
At the time, I was spiritually challenged at the time. So, yung strength ko nanggagaling sa mga it's very I don't know. I would call it miraculous even maybe. Kasi yung mga times that I was most I felt most powerful was when people were talking to me about Bible verses. They were sharing Bible verses with me. Malakas yung emotional empowerment, especially when people were telling me to have faith. And faith naman, it's correlated with perseverance. When you have faith, that's only when you will persevere. So you have to believe first talaga that you will get what you want before you can put yourself in a position where gagawin ko to because I believe I will get this.
Yeah.
Ganun siya.
Mm, that's true. Kasi parang, yun yung hack rin eh, na when you have this faith, you can do anything you set your mind to. Mm-mm. Kasi it's infinite. Wow. Ah. So refreshing. Sana na-feel nyo rin yung refresh na yun for our listeners there. And wag kayo ma-overwhelm. Our intention is for you to find and to hear most kung ano yung need nyo at this moment.
Even manifestation works as a
For
line of faith.
sure.
Ang ginawa ko noon, for manifestation naman, hindi kasi ako gumamit ng mga Manila papers on the wall kapag sa review.
Yeah.
what I did was I have this whiteboard and then I wrote my name there the same way that it would be written kapag pinost na ng TRC
Yeah.
yung top 10 list. And then there was my name, one, and then my name, and then the percentage that I wanted to get. But nakikita ko lang siya araw-araw. Nasa pader lang siya. And then I was surprised when yung grade na nilagay ko doon, it was my highest grade in the board exam. Hindi siya yung grade na nakuha ko overall, but it was
Yeah.
the highest grade in one of the subjects.
For the design portion.
It was the same number. I don't know why. But I
Ang galing.
believe that it is something about manifestation. Just because I was seeing it every single day, it happened.
Did anyone else know na ganun yung ginawa mo? Or ngayon mo lang na-share?
Yes, I shared it with my coworkers, but not
Yeah.
pa.
Mm-hmm.
Still have the photo of the whiteboard with my name in it.
Mm-hmm. And yes, that was manifestation in action. And nileverage niya yung subconscious mind. Unknowingly. Unknowingly. Yeah, kasi manifestation is really seeing it before you really, like experiencing it before you see it happen in real life. And yun yung nagagawa ng having your name placed on it and seeing it every day. Until it's imprinted on your mind na, oh, I can't tell the difference if it's real or not.
Oo.
Yeah,
Sobra.
ganun siya. Oo. So when the moment came na top 1 ka, it's like, yung subconscious, it went like, I know about this. I experienced this before. Parang ganun di ba?
Oo, ganon. It's the same also as writing the goal, paulit-ulit on paper.
Yeah. See, this is the psychology behind it. Our 1 hour episode for this tip. Uy, pero totoo, like give yourself cues na you're gonna be successful at it because it does work. It does work. Wow. Okay, so parang yun yung daily habit na, is that the daily habit na you'd recommend to them or is there something else na you wanna recommend?
I recommend it. Lagay nyo na yung pangalan nyo dyan as pwedeng wallpaper ng laptop or whatever. Something that you can see every day.
Yes, and you still have time. Especially kapag nasa energy ka ng review, tapos in-amplify mo pa with this. It's gonna happen. Alright. So, yun yung mga top-notcher tips natin from Jena, the top one from 2023, and the highest design portion daw na na-manifest niya. Jena, for our next na section, it's gonna be a quick fire round. So, if there's just one word or like a short phrase that they can remember from this, what is that? So, I'm gonna ask. Ready ka na?
Right.
Yes? Okay. So, first, go-to study resource or app.
Quizlet, definitely.
One word to describe your board exam journey.
One word. Oh, this has been asked of bucket list. It's a bucket lister. It's something you would like to tick off once in your life.
Oh! Ang ganda naman. Okay, next. A mantra that kept you going.
We become what we think about.
Grabe. She went from spiritually challenged to manifestation. Is real.
Oh, real quick. Diretso lang. Yun na.
Oh. Grabe, Jen. So, before we close, para sa mga kinakabahan pa rin, any final words of encouragement?
Final words of encouragement. Okay. Humans are not afraid of failing. We are afraid of being seen failing. So maybe some of you there are aiming to top the boards, but you are afraid to say it out loud because you fear that if you fail or if you don't make it, there will be people who will whisper about you. You think about how some will take pity on you. And it takes some time to overcome that. And if you feel like the time is no longer enough right now, but you still want it, just keep the goal to yourself. It's none of anybody else's business anyway. You just tell yourself you want it and you will get it. So yes,
Super true. Be honest with yourself. If this is what you want, then want it.
yes.
Ba't pa kami naggantong special, 'di ba? Kung ayaw niya mag-top.
Oo.
Aim for it. You have everything you need. And sa mga baka may tanong pa, and if ever they wanna contact you or ask you more questions, where they can best reach you or connect with you.
On Facebook, it's okay if I receive messages. Even on Instagram, you can search my name. There's also an article that you can read about how I prepared for the boards. I also posted about it. If you need to go through it, it's available online.
So yan po si Jena De Guzman. Nasa number one list siya ng 2023. Look her up.
Mika,
Oh, thank you, Jen.
thank you so much. I like that this conversation is structured pre-boards, during boards, and post-boards. Kasi pag hindi, wala na. Very chaotic ang isip ko, very not organized. So baka magkanda gulo-gulo lang.
You're welcome, Jenna. And I can see your effort in like really organizing yung sinasabi mo. And I'm sure that really like comes through rin to our listeners. So I'm super happy. Thank you for that extra mile to organize everything to make sure that they don't panic. Grabe. Thank you, Jenna.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate you.
100% passing rate. Yun ang
Yes. Yes. It's a yes for me. Thank you, Jenna.
Thank you, Mika.
That's a wrap for today's episode. I hope these insights gave you clarity, courage, confidence, and peace as you prepare for your own board exam journey. Until next time, trust yourself, take up space, and keep going. You got this. You are the main character of your life. If this episode sparked something in you, share it with a friend or tag me at Mika on Instagram. I'd love to see how you're stepping into your magic. And if you're loving the podcast, please leave a review. It helps more visionaries, achievers, and creatives like you find this space. And as always, let's shift into our main character energy together. Keep shining, keep creating, and I'll see you in the next one.